How about now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Yay! Okay, super. Um, turn on a light here. Oh, sorry for the armpit shot. um, I just got to a new Airbnb spot literally an hour ago. So thank you for joining in. Awesome. I'm glad everyone can hear and see. So I, ha- I have good news and bad news. The good news is we're still having a webinar. The bad news is that Ramdesh, um, I don't know if any of you heard about what happened at Solstice in New Mexico with the tent. There's actually video of it on Facebook, and it's kind of intense to watch. She got really hurt, and she's going to be okay. Um, but she had a really bad concussion and they released her from the hospital. And then she ended up having to go back to the hospital a day and a half later because she had just like, the trauma of the whole event hit her. So I thought we would begin this by meditating and chanting for her and everyone because some people were really, really hurt at solstice this year. And yeah, that's tough. This is really I've been feeling it. So I talked to her and we're going to do another date. She's taking the week off. So I'm trying to figure out like if you guys just want me to automatically re-register you for that or do you want me to send you the link for it later? We're kind of like in this situation where a pretty traumatic emergency happened and hey, that's life, so you got to deal with it. I am going to go through a lot of the information today and I thought it might be good to actually do more Q&A with everyone because it's like I don't want to go over everything, but I technically can because we did the webinar together. um, and we worked on the PowerPoint together. And her and I have been working together for about 3 years now at 3HO. I really handle the International Kundalini Yoga Teachers Association, and she handles the 3HO part. Excuse me for getting my water. And we have a ton of information. The first webinar, we actually went for at least an hour and a half, maybe even longer. Um, so there's definitely more to go over. So if you have any thoughts about, if you want me to just automatically register you, or I'll just send you the link. We haven't got a solid date, but it'll probably be like the end of next week because she's just taking this week off. So let's do that. Let's chant. And if you're not familiar with Kundalini Yoga and you're not familiar with this chant, then that's okay. Just enjoy, sit and meditate. Um, and let's really send some healing energy to everybody because I wasn't even there. I was supposed to go to Solstice this year, and all my plans changed about a month before. And it was kind of an odd situation where I had really wanted to go, but something happened and I couldn't go. And I was like, well, okay, I can't go. And then some chaos happened. So let's put our hands over our heart. You can do left over right, right over left, whatever. Close your eyes wherever you're sitting. If you're in a chair, that's fine. Put your feet flat on the ground. Maybe roll the shoulders up and back so you can really open the heart center, sitting up tall with the heart directly over the hips. And let's take a breath in. Expand the belly, lift the rib cage, and then exhale out any tension you can feel in the body. Any nervousness, any frustration, anything. Whatever you're bringing to this webinar, you're all here as well because you want to go forward with something, you're stuck on something, you're aggravated about something. So bring that up here and then breathe it out. And just let it go. And we're just going to do a few rounds of Guru Ram Das. And I know this isn't, my professional mic system. So, if you just want to go along with it, or however it sounds on your end, if you want to turn it down and really listen to your own voice, it's up to you. We're just going to do it for a couple minutes. And the chant is Guru Guru Waheguru Guru Ram Das Guru. Guru Guru Waheguru Guru Ram Das Guru 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 Waheguru Guru Ram Das Guru 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 Waheguru Guru Ram Das Guru 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 Waheguru Guru Ram Das Guru. Inhale. Hold the breath suspended at the heart center. Let the body be relaxed around it. Relax every muscle of the body. Relax your mind. And exhale. Okay. Oh, that makes me want to take a nap. So, I have a great PowerPoint to share with you. And I'd actually like to start before we get into that. Um, Hearing from you, if you can type in the chat, what's the biggest problem and challenge you have? And, why did you sign up for a webinar called SOS Marketing Rescue? Why do you feel that you need that? That's really helpful. Because then I can target more of what I want to share and we would share with you. And then for the next webinar, then whatever I can't really address today or don't have time for, then we can add that and help you with that. So this is a great opportunity to get some one-on-one feedback. And that is extremely helpful in this process. Keeping up with keeping people informed and marketing classes in a fun. It's totally okay about the typos. You should see my typos. I like type in another language sometimes and people are like, really? Could you just but it's funny, like typos make us laugh. They're an opportunity to laugh. Please, take your time writing whatever it is, a lot or a little. And I'm just going to wait for a few more to come in. Great. Thank you for sharing so honestly, like be completely honest. Yeah, a few more because I'm still reading them a bit. And I mean, everyone, please read these because it's a great when we hear about other people's experiences, um, it helps us. It helps us to know that one, we're not alone in this challenge, and just seeing different people's perspective. Not into guerrilla marketing, how to brand myself, targeting and confidence. I'm a new teacher, not have embarked on marketing my classes yet. I began teaching in the fall twice a week and have a slight fear of putting myself out there. Totally normal. It's all in the mind, getting myself. Miriam's believing that that's a typo, isn't it? Getting myself believing that what I offer is enough. Um, Keeping confidence that people want to hear the message I have to share. Satnam from Spain. One of the difficulties is how to find your market teaching Kundalini Yoga without leaving people out. Okay, that's an interesting one. And I'm excited to actually talk about that. So maybe we'll just answer all these and then do the PowerPoint if we have time. Level one teacher training and have no experience with marketing, so would like some signs where to head to. I'm feeling stuck and confused about which actions to focus on that would be most effective to generate money and results. So there should be a chat section, and um, on the right hand side, there's like an offers section and a chat section. Um, there's a few things on the top. Let me just see if I can find a view of what you're seeing. I mean, it should look really similar to mine. But if I can give you a little give you a little picture if I can see it. And you type, but not everyone. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay, so I guess the privacy was on. I don't know if it's going to turn the whole chat and the history on, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to retype what I'm seeing, and then um, whichever one I'm targeting. So let's start with, okay, cool. Awesome. Great. Let's just start from the top because, I mean, all of this is interrelated. Thanks, Anna. Um, God, it's like, where do I want to start? Because all of these are really great. And okay, so inspiring way, targeting and confidence. Okay, so yeah, so yeah, you know what? Let's start with kind of the so cute and high. So let's start talking about and if you're just joining because a couple of people are coming in, we're going to start talking about the emotional component and the kind of yogic component of marketing. And just if you've just signed in, because I see a few more people have, Ram Dash was her. This is the last time I'm going to say it. Well, I mean, unless a few more people come in, but Ram Dash was hurt at Solstice. She is recovering. She has a bad concussion. We are going to do another one with both of us, probably at the end of next week. And she's okay though. I mean, yeah, I get upset when I think about it. And I saw the video and it was really intense. I got this text message from her at like 5 a.m. of a picture of her in a neck brace. And it was startling. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get upset because like my other friend Haridas was also hurt. But and yeah, and if you saw the video, and it's like even though I wasn't there, like her and I work together so much, and like I'm so close to these women. Um, yeah, and I just happened to not go this year. So anyway, But she's going to be back and we're going to do this again. And I'm just going to send another notification to sign up for it. And we actually have a 6 weeks marketing course that I'll tell you about the end. But we're just going to be behind like a week and a half because she needs to recoup. Well, I will tell her. Yeah, a couple people, one woman, I think, fractured both her kneecaps. Um, and Hadi Das was standing right next to Ramdesh, and she also got hurt. And I don't have any particulars of any other people because, they're people I'm close to. But she'll be fine. So yes, send her some healing prayers, and we're gonna do this again. So you get another opportunity to do this if you want. Um, okay, so let's talk about the emotional component and look at this process of you putting yourself out there as a teacher, um, as a yogic practice that is going to bring up parts of you that need love. They they need more care. Parts of you that you um, have either, you're not confident enough, or you're judging yourself, you don't believe that you're worthy of it. This is all conditioning stuff from childhood. um, it brings up all of that subconscious stuff, and the beauty of that is that it's another opportunity to address those things. So obviously, as a teacher, you should have a meditation practice and be on a constant path of finding ways to expand and better yourself and love yourself more. That's really at the core of the emotional challenge, and the emotional component is you're just being shown parts of yourself that really need self-love and attention. And it's normal to feel those blocks and those challenges. So when you feel them, do something to address that. Have a plan to address it. Don't let it hold you back. Um, I design a lot of websites. As an example, I designed the International Kundalini Yoga Teachers Association website, and I designed Ram Desh's website, and Harnam, and Dayakar, um, from California, and just working on the Super Health website, maybe Pity Academy. Anyway, blah blah blah. One of my clients a few years ago, um, we did a lovely website for her. It wasn't like a huge thing, but it was just, she needed a new website. She was so emotional about it. She had like an emotional nervous breakdown. We were about to make it live. And so the thing is, one, know that unless you are actually actively promoting a website and doing marketing with it, especially if it's new, no one's really looking at it. So breathe. Great. No one, and most of the time, no one's actually judging us. We are judging us. No one is judging us. Most people want to love us and feel joy, and especially in the demographic of spiritual teachings. So have a plan to specifically address that component. And the great thing is that out of all businesses out there, this one, because I mean, you should look at it as a business. And if you read Yogi Bhajan's book, I forget the title of it. It's got the really pretty picture with the blue green kind of tree. God, what is it called? I don't remember. Prosperity. So I can figure it out if anyone really wants to know. But there's a book that he wrote. Um, look at it as a business, but have a plan to deal with the emotional component. And meditation, so you could be doing, if you're finding you have lots of negative thoughts, beggar's bowl, great meditation for that. If you feel like you're blocked, apasayo sache da sache do it, great meditation for getting rid of blocks. You want to clear your arc line, how about this one? Waheguru, 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 Wahegyo. Like find something and do it consistently and then get help. So we have some other messages I'm going to read before I go on to the next batch of questions. Da, 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 da. Yes. Chattra Chakravarti is really good for fear as well. So there's different things going on. So you have like your prosperity mantras. I mean, this is the thing. No matter what you do, it's going to do something and it's going to work. Um, so try a few things and then pick something that resonates with you. So, there's this one for prosperity: HUD, 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 HUD. And it's actually also in a 3-part Kriya, but you can just do this for 11 minutes. And that, I mean, you can find that one online. Apasahai Hoa Sache Da Sache Doa. I did that one for a long time in the beginning of the year. And that was really helpful. And Guru Singh has a story online about that one. That one's for good with removing blocks and energy. I find that this Beggar's Bowl, it's the negative mind meditation. You can find that one online too. And if you want any of these, please feel free to email me at info@thefamecompass.com, or you can find me on line on Sadavtar. I'm happy to email you any of these. And like this meditation, Aradas Bahi, Amar Das Guru, Ardas Bahi, Ram Das Guru, Ram Das Guru, Ram Das Guru, Sachi Sai. I love that one because that brings in whatever you need. Even if you don't really know what you need, it brings it in. Hud Hade Hadi. There's another one, Hud Hade. See, there's so many. Hud Hade Hadi Waheguru. That one is also very good for prosperity. And I feel like that's a good confidence builder. And then there's always Sakriya for 31 minutes a day, which I have done for a very long time. I'm kind of in a break, but Sakriya is, yeah, that sends you into the stratosphere. Okay, so let's go to some of the questions that we were getting back to now that we've talked about the emotional component. I mean, we could definitely go on about, the emotional component because it's going to challenge you like that. Like you cannot get away from the fact that being a yoga teacher, meditation teacher, whatever style you're doing, Kundalini yoga or not, is going to chisel you because that's what's going on. It's an opportunity to see your own self completely and be okay with it and use the teachings. And just, I would say, some of the best marketing, some of the best stories that you share with your students and online, and just share, are the ones that make you feel uncomfortable. They're the ones that you're afraid to share because it's most likely that there's somebody else in the same boat who really needs that help, who really needs that story, who really needs that support and is feeling equally as fearful, equally as self-conscious. So I encourage you to take risks, to recognize fear that's holding you back, and doing it anyway. Because honestly, if there's no fear, if there's no intense emotion, there's not much. There's just that having strong feelings, having fear is an indication that there's power. So, okay. not into guerrilla marketing and how to brand myself. And I'm just going to read the next one because this one I think I have a new teacher and have not embarked on marketing my classes yet. I begin teaching in the fall twice a week and have a slight fear of putting myself out there in the public spotlight. Okay, so we talked about fear. Um, so talking about branding, because as a new teacher, um, and to Lisa talking about how to brand, that's a very important first step part is hold on one second. Someone's asking me about the sound. Um, that's the first step, really. Well, after sitting and making the decision and tuning into the emotional component, um, branding is that it's a map, really. Um, it's a map that helps you talk about a message, and it's the a very vital thing to have a branding plan. And I'm going to actually open up the PDF because it talks more about that. And I can encapsulate that better and talk about it better because it is when you have a brand, it's like the key that opens the door, and it's a map. It gives you a pathway and a guide. It's kind of like a Kriya. It gives you steps to follow, and you follow them over and over and over and over again. So you should have one. And I will tell you why when I open the PDF. Let me just read the rest of these. Okay, keeping confident that people want to hear the message I have to share. When we have a genuine message that we want to help people, people definitely want to hear that. They definitely want to hear that. How to find your market teaching Kundalini yoga without leaving people out. That's an interesting one. I really want to open the PDF, but I want to answer that one first because the rest of these really can go with the information. Um, as far as teaching, marketing, teaching Kundalini yoga without leaving people out, um, that is kind of a tough one because I find there are some misconceptions about Kundalini yoga. Like I went to acupuncture yesterday and I said I was a Kundalini yoga teacher. And he, the acupuncturist had this view that Kundalini yoga was, push through, push through, push through, push through, push through. And for someone like me that lately has been healing a lot of trauma and had some major things happen at the end of last year that like kind of shocked me, that push, 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 push isn't good. So people think that, and that's not necessarily the truth about Kundalini yoga. Kundalini yoga is for everybody. That's what all the modifications are for. And generally, I'm seeing, because I take a lot of asana, hatha classes as well, um, there are all ages, all shapes, like just all different kinds of people with different mobility issues in all yoga classes. And I think generally, um, that is more accepted. So when you market for Kundalini yoga, if you want to market to particular demographics, like a wide demographic, like you want to make sure people that have issues with mobility, have injuries, and would need modifications and extra care. Um, and then looking at, it is kind of depending too on like what location. I would need a little more specifics about the class, but you can do that, through your marketing. You can say things through your newsletters, on your website, um, on your social media posts, posting uh, stories about modifications, information about the different students that you have and the ages that they have. It's just about Using example stories really, and making sure you have a little bit of information to say, all levels welcome, um, all abilities welcome. Maybe try and do a class that's even targeting, if you want to say gentle. Um, I don't know. We don't usually do gentle Kundalini yoga, but you could use it as an underlying, this is for all abilities. Because I do feel like we need to have more communication about that. When I teach, I allow people to come in, and if you need to rest, if you need a modification, if you need to take a nap, that's okay. But we are dealing with a population of people that are, I see a lot of students come in and they're already nervous. They're already like, oh my God, can I do this? Maybe telling people their eyes will be closed most of the time. It's a funny way to let them know that, hey, you can do this because nobody's watching you. Um, it gets more challenging to work through discouragement. It's easy. Um, so I'm wondering, uh, Subhadra, there, like, it's hard for me to give you feedback on why attendance would be declining, because I'm not seeing the studio. I don't know when the class times are, or the days of the week. um you might want to try some different things. Like, I would need to hear more specifics. But obviously, like, summer is always awash with yoga classes. And then there's just different ways to look at it. It's like, what is your attention marketing doing? Do you have an email list? Are you targeting people, like, if they don't come in for a class after 2 months, right? Do you have a system set up where you send them an automatic email that gives them a free class or a discount? That kind of marketing and planning is really helpful when you have, um, when you see the numbers go down and you want to bring them back up. You do, like a special discount, a special free class. The retention marketing is really, really important. Getting people's email addresses, really, really important. Keeping in communication with people, really important. Because, I mean, people do have a hard time with commitment. I mean, they're teachers, we're committed, 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 daily practice. Not everyone is like that. And you shouldn't think that, well, I shouldn't be doing that because if they're not coming, people need reminders. They come to class, then their mind distracts them and something happens, and then they don't go, and they feel like, oh, well, this is more important, and that is more important, or I don't have time for my practice. You have to communicate to people to inspire them, and you have to keep up with them and keep talking to them. You are doing them a service. You are not annoying them, but you are doing them a service by helping them get to class more. Oh, free things are good. Yeah, the season, summer, every yoga, I have been working at yoga studios for, God, I don't know how many years, 15, maybe more. Summer's always really tough. And then like holiday stuff. And it also depends on where you live in the country or the world. Um, so, you know, there's also ways to, sell class passes and do that anyway. Um, Yeah, no, no. Marketing is not annoying. So yeah, you're not annoying them. Have a, once a month newsletter, and then set up some retention marketing, and you're not annoying them. It's okay. It's okay. Not coming. Okay, I'm gonna go to the PDF. Facebook for marketing, if that's what the question is, Jane, is not enough. Your newsletter is actually far more important than Facebook. So it's basically like face. uh, So depending on what kind of classes you're teaching, and if you're doing like workshops in other places or you're doing classes in other places, Facebook is like the go-between. You have your social media, And then you have maybe a website or your live classes where you are getting people's email addresses. Then Facebook can be like the social media campaign that gets people to your website. And then you have newsletters. And the newsletters, you want to get email addresses of everyone. They're like gold. So important, so important, so important. Number one, most important thing is your newsletter. Because Facebook, especially when it comes to small studios, um, it's harder to target. Um, it's easier on a bigger scale. It's harder when it's done regionally. It's great because what will happen is people will look at it. People will go to Facebook, and they will, see pictures of your studio. They will, which should be nice. They will see reviews and testimonials, and that inspires them to go. So you need that element. And a website is great. I mean, you can start simple. It doesn't have to be big. Um, it's really important to have that too because it's a connection. So I'm going to open the PDF now. I keep saying that, but I like keep reading this uh, and Jane, yes. So um, yes, Sabadra, you want a newsletter. You want to do that. You want to have a sign up sheet in your classes. Get emails. Get emails. Get emails. Um, And as a contractor, Jane, I would still have a newsletter. Yeah, yeah, because your students do want to hear from you. And the more you open up and the more you talk to them and the more you cultivate a relationship with them. Um, one of my clients, she's taught at various studios. She does various kinds of yoga and healing, and she sells products too. She has a newsletter. She doesn't own a studio, but she has a newsletter. She has when people sign in, she's like, please join my newsletter. She sends out, she tries to do it once a month. Sometimes it's like 6 to 8 weeks. Tells people the events where she's teaching, um, sends them a nice story, sends them a meditation. It's really important. You definitely want to cultivate that, and you can get a free MailChimp account. It doesn't have to cost you money. Um, and you can just grow with it and learn more about it. So I'm going to open this PDF. I mean, we've been over a lot of it, but we got like 20 minutes. I'll go a couple minutes over. But I want to at least like go over some of this. And then if Ramdesh were here, we probably would go for an hour and 45 minutes like before. But I just will go through this so that we can at least, we made it together. So it's going to be the same stuff. Screen. Yeah, I have on the Fame Compass Facebook page, there's a webinar video just for free on the page, actually all about branding. Um, and that's much longer. So you can check that out on the Fame Compass Facebook page. And then I think it's on YouTube too. And the Fame Compass generally has the Facebook group on the Kundalini Yoga entrepreneurs, Kundalini Yoga and wellness entrepreneurs. There's lots of freebies there too. So there's more in-depth, specific information that you can get. Just gonna share my screen. And I hope you can see this. Hope this works. Should be sharing this, and hopefully you can still see me too. If you can, let me know. So we went over this, which is the meditation part and making sure that you're addressing, So at the beginning, we did a few breaths and we chanted. So right before you start working for a stretch on your brand, on marketing, on a campaign, just take 3 breaths. Like just even do it right now because you've got all this mental energy swimming around this webinar and all these questions. Just close your eyes again for a second and breathe in slowly. Expand the belly and then exhale out and bring the navel point towards the spine. Feel how powerful that is? I mean, I can feel it. So I hope you can. Oops. Okay. Don't let fear hold you back. Yes, you're going to make mistakes. And, I wouldn't say today is a mistake on our part. Ramdesh is hurt. But, that's something that we both felt really, upset about, that we had to say, do we postpone it? She's not going to be here. But there's two of us. So we still get to have the webinar because there is two of us. And that's the positive thing. Like, make a mistake and hold it with grace, because everybody makes mistakes. And wouldn't it be great if we could just stop judging ourselves for mistakes because we're humans? Okay. So create the meditation strategy with a marketing strategy. Clarity. Clarity. Clear. It's very hard to get there, and I understand that. With your branding, just being who you are and not worrying about what somebody else thinks, and not trying to fit yourself into a box that you are not. And of course, at some point, the mental patterns are going to come in and they're going to confuse you. So just meditate. But a clear, simple message, clear copy, clear images, one clear call to action, which is that action that you're asking people to take, like on a social media post. One action. Not sure if anyone. Okay, so one person said they don't see the PowerPoint. Really? Okay, weird. It says that it's sharing. Okay, let me try it again and just do it with a full share screen. No, why is it? Okay, I'm going to. Oh, okay. Well, maybe that is, but let me but no, it should still work though. Okay, so sorry about that. That's the infinite me. Hopefully you can see this. If you can't, I apologize. I just listen. And I can send it to you after. Did that help anyone? Did it start to show up? No. I don't know. It says that it's sharing. So let me see if I can send it and then you can follow along. If it has a file upload. Oh, you're more interested in me than the PowerPoint. I like that. Okay, then. I will just go through the PowerPoint. Thank you. That really made me feel good. Oh. Share video, like source. Yeah, see, we switched webinar. This is a better webinar program, but offers. Let me see. I don't know. I'll email it to you, lady. Right. I'm just gonna go ahead. You guys are smart. I'm going ahead, and whoever can see it can see it. Yes, no, I wish you could see this because there's some writing on these that are funny. Like, in this particular slide, it says, have fun. This is Ramdesh. She wrote this. Get jiggy with it. Like, she wrote that one. So done equals perfect. Authenticity glows. Great. Done. Don't be a perfectionist. Like, time limits are great. Set a timer. Be like, I am giving myself this amount of time to work on this, and then I am going to be done with this. But let go of the need. Your ego is not your amigo, but marketing is your friend. So your ego can cut both ways. It can build you up and can slice you down. There are amazing, 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 amazing teachers out there that are afraid to put themselves out there more. I know some of them. And this is the thing that I wish I could get through to some of them, and I want to get through to all of you and everyone. When you hide yourself, when you get lost in the fear and the confusion, and you don't just go out there and say, you know what, maybe it's not perfect, but it's done. You are, in that scenario, doing a disservice to all the people that could benefit from your help. And it starts small, you know, just even a few people. When you hold yourself back, other people lose out. And that is the unfortunate scenario that happens when you don't really want to market yourself, or you judge it, because some people do judge it. And I've seen people on Facebook and social media get very judgmental about how other people market themselves. Please ignore that. Just be you. Staying small isn't being humble. She wrote that. And you have a mission, so share it and have fun. I mean, we all need more fun. We really need more fun. Okay, so here's some specifics. And if you have a pen and paper, you actually might want to write this down, because this is more very intricate kind of knowledge. Okay. Okay, so who, what, when, where, why. In your marketing campaigns and in structuring your marketing, these are the questions that you really need to answer. And it's part of building your customer avatar or customer profile. And then looking at yourself, like, who are you, and who is the person that you're marketing to? Um, what do you have to say? You have an authentic message in there. When you get under everything else, you have an authentic message. And of course, posting quotes from Yogi Bhajan and other things are really important, and they do say things, but you have a personal experience. For me, my personal experience is healing fibromyalgia naturally, finding that I could sing at like age 30 something, and committing to acting later in life, and just coming out of an immense amount of trauma, like so much. Those are my personal stories. And like last year, I had really bad PTSD episodes. I shared that with my students, because that's what people want. They want like, why are you a teacher? You became a teacher for some reason. You want to help people for some reason. You're doing what you do for some deep reason in you, and it's totally 100% unique to you. That's what people want to hear. They want to hear the struggles, and they want to be there for you, and they want you to be there for them. It's a two-way street, teachers to students. The energy that happens between you is a very sacred relationship. So when are you communicating? When? That can be as basic as, what time are you posting? And when are you personally communicating? Like, when you're inspired? Are you having a schedule? Are you making it a bit of both? Um, where do you communicate? Social media profiles, newsletters, flyers, postcards in coffee shops, whatnot. Not necessarily the best, but can be helpful. Just because branding is about a repeated recognition. I might look at this flyer and I might see it here, but then I might see it somewhere else. And then I might actually think, coincidence? Maybe not. Maybe I will sign up for that workshop. Um, and as far as with the social media profiles, start with one. Start with the one you're comfortable with. They're all a little different. So if you're really not sure about the quality of your photos quite yet, maybe go with Facebook and leave Instagram for later. And then what's your why, which is what I talked about. So the big picture, this is this like um, that cycle that I was talking about with your social media and your websites and your newsletter and having that connection. So branding is about creating an authentic experience of who you are. And that's in the digital world, but we can also think about how we're communicating in classes. Like what kriyas are we teaching? What if we're making malas or jewelry, what kind of jewelry are we making? What is that subtext? What's the message? That's that big story of why, and getting really specific with that, because the more specific you are with the targeting, it is actually better. So we do think, like, pairing it with that question of, I want people in my Kundalini yoga classes, like, that everyone's welcome, and I mean, people of all ages. Swing that back to the other side. When you're more specific, so if you're, let's say, specific with premenopausal women, um, male, young men, youth, a male class, um, class for chronic illnesses, class for people with injuries. You might find, if you do something like that and try that out, that is going to work better. And don't be afraid to actually try that, because that can have a really great effect. And if you build that over time, that population is people, they're going to come to that class, they're going to come to you for that solution. So your social media and your newsletters are how you, over time, build that community. And it is, it starts small. You have to start big. And I know we can kind of like be like, oh, but I only have one new follower like today. That's okay. It's one more than you had yesterday. It's about a long-term relationship of recognition. And the newsletters, especially, are how you solidify the connection between you and your core audience. Or another way is, building trust so that people can know you. So the website is important. It's where your brand lives online. Uh, the universe of your offerings, and it's a place where you get to hone in on your mission. It's an important newsletter building tool. So you'll see a lot of studios have like a free class offer, or 30 days for $30, or 30 days for $20, whatever you typically want to do. Really, really, be generous, be super generous with, like, always make your first class free. And I know there's that, oh, no one should pay, blah, blah, but get the email and that's the exchange that you get. Be very, very generous and loving, and just, the newsletter is your opportunity to be authentic and talk to people. So treat it as a very sacred opportunity to communicate with people. You don't necessarily make it super long. Short, sweet, powerful, impact, unforgettable. Products, how you earn money from your brand and how you serve the need that your customers have, because every person coming to your class has some sort of problem. And yes, at the most basic level, it's them just wanting to feel better, and whether that's from a big scope or a small scope. And that includes like your classes, your e-courses, books, albums, retreats, goods and services, etc. I'm just going to check the comments. As a new teacher, how do you connect to your clients? Okay, I'm going to go through this quickly and then we'll get into that. Branding, God, there's so much. Okay, so just be you. When you know who you are, you know what your why is. You share your personal stories and insights. Like I said, just repeating it again. So if you have a piece of paper and a pen, pick 3 words right now that define your brand and keep them in your mind. Forget what other people think. Just what feelings, like dive into this in the heart, like dive your awareness into the heart, get out of the mental realm, ask the heart, and you're going to be able to feel it. It's going to feel like something. What are those 3 words, those feelings that you want people to have, that experience that you want people to have? Maybe it's you can write, if more than 3 words comes out, then that's fine. Maybe you've got a whole sentence in mind and it's very specific about you want something like, I would think, people with fibromyalgia and chronic illness to know that they can be happy and feel good and there's hope, like, so it's a good exercise to start with that. Social media. Oh, I know so many people get stressed out with social media. And social media, yeah, you don't have to be obsessed about it. You can just make a couple posts per week. One of the things that's really important with social media is to engage with other people. Um, Stick to your message, your mission. Instagram. Instagram and Facebook. Instagram is for usually under 30, 35. At least it's got a higher demographic. Facebook, you have more people above that age on that. Twitter is very quick and conversational. So you can certainly use it, but when you really want to convey something, Facebook and Facebook groups are great. They're a great place to start with connecting with people with your classes. I'm trying to rush through these, and I don't really want to rush through these because there's so much. So you should definitely join the next webinar because we'll go longer. Maybe I should go back to social media. Should I go back to social media? Because I could just talk about social media forever because there's so much to it. And that's, one tool that is great to start connecting with new people. And you have to think a long term. So let's say you want to try and find new clients, like you're asking. Various ways to do that. On social media, regional groups, regional Kundalini groups, yoga groups, at least online, which is the ramifications of what this webinar is focusing on, is a great way to connect with people. And then using that obviously as a hub. So are you looking for new clients as in new students for the class? Or are you teaching privates? If you're teaching in a studio, there's an inner relationship and should be an inner relationship with the studio and the teacher. Personally, I don't really believe that the studio should put all the weight of having the teacher bring all the students in because it's not reality. You have to have those classes that are only going to have a few people in them. Like the daytime classes, you got to start somewhere, and that's fine. So make sure if your studio doesn't have the best marketing, because some of them are challenged, talk to them about that. Have a conversation. See what you can do to support their efforts of marketing you and marketing the classes. And then look at what you can do personally. You can offer to teach in different locations for free. You will find environments where people will want teachers to come and talk to those people and go to other studios. Obviously, most studios only really want people to teach, especially new teachers that are actively going to their studio. So if you are actively going to their studio and you know people that attend that studio, that is a way that you cultivate. And that's kind of a community. So let's say someone comes in and they're new and they're like, oh, so what teachers, do you think would be the best for me? And then someone gets a recommendation. So build a relationship with the studios that you teach at. If you are teaching like at a community center, then yeah, it's a little bit more of a challenge because you have to really start from scratch. You have to, pull from your network of friends and, post online to your Facebook personal page, um, make a flyer, make sure that it has the time and the location and the price very clear. Because some people make flyers and they don't have that information. It's absolutely critical. People do not dig for stuff these days. Make it as easy as possible for them. Say, hey, you can pay me through PayPal on my phone. Like, I accept PayPal or cash. Does anyone use checks anymore? I haven't written a check in 3 years. Make things so, so, so easy for them. Yes. We just started talking about doing video testimonials from students at the studio. I'm like, yes, that is great for social media. And a lot of times, let's say you're doing a teacher training, the personal testimonials, video especially, but written as well. Social proof is basically what it would be called on online. That inspires people because they're seeing personally the transition that someone has made and someone has gained. So if further, because it's a pyramid, it's building. It's so rare when people go to a class or look at something for the first time and are like, oh, I'm going to do that, especially with something that costs like $4,000. Even with a class, because you're dealing, a lot of people are really sensitive. I remember the first Kundalini class I went to when I was like 20 years old. That was 20 years ago. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to yoga class. I was so nervous. People are really nervous. We have to like cater to that a bit and understand that we have to work for this, but make it fun for yourself. Like, it's just too serious all the time. It's just really too serious all the time. Um, so we looked at that. Now let's talk about website because it's a super important part. And I make a lot of websites. I mean, I love social media too, and I've taught coaching courses on that. And it's I just took over the international blah 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 ICTA. That's what we call it, but not everyone knows that that's what I'm saying. The Teachers Association Instagram. We just started that. And that's been really fun. So if you're not following that, you should definitely follow that. But the thing is, with all of this, you do eventually want to have a website because people look at them, people read the descriptions, people read the testimonials. Like, have good pictures. Like, if you're going to bother with making a website, even if it's a Squarespace or something that you're doing, you're yourself and you can't yet pay anyone, just get good pictures. It's really probably one of the most important things, and testimonials. And then it could be as simple as just having the information of when your class is and where it is. And then if you have a studio, if you're teaching workshops, if you're doing online courses, then you grow out from that. You have your brand, you have your colors, you have your clear tagline statement, you have your fonts, you plug it into your website, you plug it into your social media. It doesn't have to be complicated. There's, I think, what was it? Oh my God, why am I forgetting her? Suk Dave. She does women's training and she's got the band, and her website was Squarespace for the longest time. I do think she had help with it, but it wasn't like WordPress, the customized one, and that's fine. That's great. So it doesn't have to be expensive, but you really need one because people read it. And then if you want, people to pay for treatments or classes, then they can do it online. And it's so easy for people to do that. So make it easy for people. I'm going to mention money, to give you money. It's abundance, it's energy, it's love. Accept it. Like I said before, be generous. Give more than you take. Be clear. So like if you have, if you're confused about who your classes are targeting to, why don't you try doing a targeted class to a specific demographic of people and be really clear about what that class is about. Make it unique, make it a little different from what anybody else is doing, and try it. Yes, that's great. If you can't explain it, neither can your people. So if you can't clearly tell people in a few words or a sentence what it is that you offer, then they don't understand that. So here's an example. So let's say you're a healer and you know like 6 different modalities of different energy healing. A lot of that actually is meaningless to people because they don't know the difference between this healing and that healing and that healing. And you can walk out of a healing session in various different kinds of healing, and what do you still feel at the end? Better. You still feel good. You still feel awesome. So if you are confused, and if you are like describing your energy healing in this long paragraph that talks about all these different modalities, you're probably going to confuse people. So streamline that down, pare that down. You can do like a bullet list of these the type of healings, but when it comes to just describing the healing session, make it more about the transition from the problem to the resolution and how people feel when they leave, because that's why they're coming for that. They just want to feel better. And yes, get help when you need it. Get help with this stuff when you need it. Like being on this free webinar, the entrepreneurs group, it's been a bit quiet because we've been working on developing the course and working on developing this. But there's lots of free stuff in there and on the Fame Compass website. And we will, continuously be doing more of that. And I mean, I'm not going to stop doing that. Fame Compass is my hub. But we're going to be doing Get Aligned Marketing and doing this stuff. So that's a great, ask people too. If you've seen someone who has a great website or marketing, then ask. If you want people to look at your website because you're not sure about it and you want tips, post it in the group. I will respond. Ramdesh will respond. Other people will respond. Take advantage of it. You are not alone. Okay, so here's some tools, and I don't know if everyone can see this. Oh, bye, Lisa. Have fun teaching. So PicMonkey and Canva are image creation tools. There's different marketing calendars, like Google, obviously. I like Asana for project management. We use that at 3HO, and I use that for Fame Compass. There's Trello, there's Airtable. Check a couple out and just pick one. Just literally pick one and don't get caught up in that. I'm not on my high def webcam because I'm traveling around England right now. And I didn't bring it with me. It's in storage in LA. But it's good to have an extra webcam. I do have an iPhone tripod, but I'm doing this on the computer because we have the PDF to share. A ring light is nice. Ramdesh has a beautiful ring light. I am not traveling with my ring light. I mean, I'm trying to keep it like small and not have a big bag because I'm in the UK for 3 months. And maybe going to Europe, who knows? There's Zoom for live calls, there's Skype, there's Google Hangouts, there's tons of different stuff. So been an hour and almost 15 minutes. Um, I really hope this has helped you, and am recording it, so I am going to share it with people. We're going to do this again, because I didn't. God, there's so much I could have gone over with you, and it's wonderful. It's exciting. I love it. But you've got the basic steps and the things that you need, and tick off one at a time. Don't overload yourself. Just start where you are and look at what other people do. Researching is good. You can find out a lot. What you do, who your client is, that customer avatar. You figure out a lot. Obviously, you already know a lot. If you're a Kundalini teacher, you kind of have an idea. You don't want to just base it on you. You want to talk to other people. You want to look at comments on Facebook posts. You want to look at Reddit. You want to read the comments on blogs. You want to find out what others need, as well as mixing that and thinking about what was your journey. It's a very happy marriage. So you would be surprised at what opportunities can come to you. Let's say you already have a little bit of a following. You have a group of friends or girlfriends, or ask them what they need, what their challenges are, and maybe try formulating a class or a course around whatever theme that they might be saying to you that they need help with. I've had clients that have opened very businesses and created products that they never would have thought of, but they asked people. They asked the students they already had. They asked the clients they already had. So if you already have students, ask them what they need and find out where the gap is. I will notify you when we have the next webinar, when Ramdesh is on, and hopefully you can sign up for that. We also have, and I wasn't even sure I should share this, but without her here, but I'm going to, because her and I have worked so hard on this. We are doing a 6-week course that covers all of this in detail, that goes through it step by step. There's office hours, which is basically live calls every week that we're doing this. There's 6 modules and a bonus module. It goes over creating the brand, helping you go through the whole process of picking colors and fonts, and getting a really clear message on who you are and what you want to do. A Facebook group goes with it, so there's lots of back and forth communication, social media, just how to write posts, scheduling, what's the best ones for you, analytics, looking at basic ad procedure, newsletters, drip campaigns, giving you examples of that, setting that up so you're comfortable with that. And we're going to have breaks in between every couple of weeks so you can assimilate. It's going to be a lot. It's something that we're going to be doing 1 to 2 times every year. We're starting it at a lower rate, and you're going to be able to access it every year because things change. Algorithms change. The way Facebook operates changes. Maybe they'll come up with a new social media network at some point. I don't know. It's been such a monopoly for so long. So we are going to be adding those things in. And it's going to be a great support and a great group of people. I am going to stop this sharing my screen thing and get you the link. One second to close this. My computer acts kind of funny when it's plugged into a socket in another country. Okay, so so helpful and aligning, awesome. When does the course begin, and what if you're away for part of it? That's fine. So the course, cancel. Sorry, I don't know. I forgot to cancel. No. Oh, okay. Turn my video. Okay, so the course, let me just get the page link to you. My mouse acts really strange when I have this plugged in. So here is the link. Um, it's totally okay if you are away for part of it. Everything is online. Um, so you'll be able to access it continuously. So, you do it as you go. Each week, we're going to have live calls. If you can't be on the live call, you can post in the Facebook group that we'll have and ask, whatever questions you have where you're stuck, and we'll try to get it in on that hour. A lot of people tend to have the same issues. I've done a lot of group coaching courses and courses with people on social media, on branding, going through all the stuff that we're going to be going through, and hearing other people is so enlightening. Um, so I you're not going to be missing out on anything if you happen to miss a couple of the live calls. And it's go at your own pace, and we will still be actively answering questions and looking at the Facebook group even after the course finishes. And as you can see, life happens. Ramdesh got hurt, and we've put back the dates. So I have extended the sign up date. We're going to start. Let me look at the date. About like the third week in July. Um, so we have an early discount period now, and there was and I closed the PDF. There's a 10%. Let me just grab it and paste it for everyone that's on the webinar. There is a 10% discount. 10% get aligned. And I have that up for 48 hours. But we're going to have another one of these. So that'll be good for the next time people are on too. And we're going to close registration later in July. I mean, like someone shows up the 20th or the 21st, and that's still going to be fine if you want to register. But we do have an early discount that's definitely going to end for the course. And if you have any more questions, please feel free to message me, to Facebook me. You can ask them here. I'm happy to answer them right now. And I will send an email out to everyone that was registered for this, and hopefully you can get on after the next one. I'm fixing a date there. Let's see, anyone have any questions? Anything? Well, it was great to have you all. I'm just going to look over these comments and see if I missed anything. No, great. Anna. We are going to do the course as long as things go well. And I mean, oh man, poor Amdesh actually got pneumonia after Sanan Fest. And then she goes to the next festival and she gets a concussion. I told her she should stop going to festivals for a while so we can actually finish this and actually do the course. Anyway, we are going to keep doing it because we want to keep building it, because we know that this is something that people really, really. Jane, can you email me? I don't know if I want to email the PowerPoint to everybody, and I don't have it uploaded right now. I mean, I could upload it, but I don't want to keep you guys here while I do that. What was I saying? We are going to do it at some point later because we want to keep building it, because we know that this is something that teachers really, really need. And the more people that we get, the more we can help, the more we can make it affordable. We were actually thinking about maybe having a monthly membership of calls as well. I don't know when we're going to do it again. I will say that if you're worried about like time, You don't have to keep up with it every week. Like the information's there. I did a course last summer, um, and I'm still referencing that material. And I honestly still haven't gone through all of it, but it's there because it's a lot of information, and it's not information that you can get completely done in 6 weeks. It's just you're going to go back and reference it. You're going to use it to create a strategy. But we will do it, but I don't know when. Um, it's probably not going to be for a while. It could be next year. And I'm happy to, talk to anybody if you need any coaching, do discovery calls. If you need website, talk to me. And yeah, I hope you really enjoyed it. And, just I say, if you're feeling like you need this help and you want this help and you're questioning it, I just do it. And because next time we're probably going to make it more expensive anyway, because it's a lot of information. This is going to be basically all that you really need to reference to completely get your marketing done. And you're not going to have to do any more free webinars and like do piecemeal stuff. It's just going to be all right there. And you can take it every single year that we do it. And you'll not have to pay any more money. And you'll always get to reference it. So that's what we want to do. Go to the page. So until the early discount ends, it's 600. After that, it goes up to 700. We have set it up so that you can actually make monthly payments. And it's about $120 per month for 6 months. And that's just personally through us. You can do it on the link, the page that I sent. It's not like a PayPal credit thing or anything. We have a subscription set up that we did personally, and it will automatically do it. So we want to make it affordable, and hopefully that will work for people that just, because I know some teachers just don't have the money. And I mean, I've been there. There was a time I couldn't even afford a $15 class. So um, if you have any issues, if you want to do it and you just don't even know about the money, please email me, because I I want to help and I want people to be uplifted. And I've had a lot of help in my journey too. So info@thefamecompass.com, or my website, which might be easier to remember if you know who I am already, is sadaftar.com. And you can always hit me up on Facebook or friend me. And let me see if there's any more comments. Um, yeah, I hear you being away from the computer from June until May, August. We'll check back with us then, because we are going to be doing it. We'll start the last week of July, and we'll have 2 weeks in August, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll start again and have like another 2 weeks. And then probably take a break and have another 2 weeks. So it'll go from like August to September. Um, but will definitely be worth it if you change your mind and you just want to do it and jump in after the second week. And if I remember, for some reason, we might start a week later, because you never know, that happens. But we're definitely going to do it, and we're ready. And let's just say a Satnam. Be grateful that we took the time to do this and get some questions answered, and just did something for ourselves that moves us forward and helps other people. Satnam. And my prayer and advice is to just keep going and keep up. And if you are inspired to teach, then that means something, and to go for it. And both Ramdesh and I are available for coaching and websites and all that good stuff, if you just need a little help with certain things. So Satnam, have an awesome time, and hope you can join us on the next